get out of her cage. All right, it says that we are live. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this adventure on Monday morning. And yeah, let's go ahead and just dive right into it. Oh, never mind. We're going to listen. Can you guys hear that?
Hear what? Oh, I should get my headset.
Oh,
Hold, please.
okay. I have to mute myself. How's that? Is that better?
I didn't notice anything. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. It was echoing. I forgot to mute my YouTube. So we'll go ahead and get started. Miss Amy, go ahead and introduce yourself and we'll get Monday morning going.
Okay. Hello, I am Amy Nobody. I don't have any social media. I do have the ability to make Carol cry, along with some pretty kick-ass certified SEO abilities. That's my day job. And I am working on now. I'm just today starting my second draft of my first fiction book. So
Awesome.
I just finished the first rough draft for Camp NaNoWriMo April 2019. That was my goal, and I crushed it. And besides still bragging about it, now it's time for me to sit down and actually start working on it. And what I plan to do today is I plan on rewriting it, the whole thing, sentence for sentence. I know how my brain works, and that's going to be easiest for me. So I'm going to open the old document on one half of the screen, open a new document on the other half of the screen, and just rewrite the whole thing from the beginning. So, adding the changes as I want them.
Okay. Well, are you certifiably racy?
Trust me, and know my brain, it will be so much easier for me to just retype everything than it will be for me to try to move this, move that, rewrite the scene, turn those around, reword this whole sentence. Just do it again, and it'll save me so much effort.
Right. Do you use the talk to text or this? Yeah. Is it?
No, I've typed everything on Scrivener.
No,
But
I mean,
I have
You're talking about fiction, right, Dana?
Yeah. No. Like, do you listen to it? Like, what did they? It's like read.
Oh, where it reads it back to you? No, I don't.
Yeah,
do that.
yeah.
I can't actually stand that robotic voice for very long. Like something about it really bothers me.
See, since I write the story, I change it to a woman's voice. I've got a lady and I can slow her down so that she sounds more like a woman than a robot. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how I do it. Cause yeah, it would drive me insane to type it. But good luck. I look forward to hearing your updates of your sanity.
I know. We're all like, you have to share with us. Eh?
I know. Take us with you on your journey. So, okay.
I'll be here.
All right, Miss Carol, you are next.
Hello, my name is Carol Brown. I am an urban fantasy author and a writer for Otherworld Inc. I am here to work on a scene from book 2 that I started writing over the weekend. But if anybody's like me and you're writing something, you run into like a little snatch. I put an M dash and I keep moving on with the scene. Mm-hmm. So I'm going back to take all the M dashes out today.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Very nice. And Derek? What do you prefer to be called? Do you prefer to be called DL or?
Oh, you can call me Derek. I'm going to be publishing as DL.
Okay.
You can call me Derek. A lot of people call me Stewie because there's way too many Dereks around here.
I love that. You're now Stewie.
Yeah, that's what I went by for probably 10, 15 years. So it doesn't really matter. I'll answer to anything.
Stewie is the guy, he's the baby that's trying to kill his mom all the time, right? Yeah. See?
Sums me up.
I know. I'm like, that's Mini Monster. No. All right, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm DL Stewart. I write adult medieval fantasy. I'm be working on the second book of my Metagore series. The first one comes out on the 21st of this month.
Very nice. I know. I like your cover. I really do like that. And you're going to be doing a book signing?
Yeah, I'm doing one here locally on the day it comes out at the local library.
Right on. That'd be
Really
really
cool.
cool.
I plan on doing a live stream that night sometime.
Yeah.
We'll go to that. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to your book signing in spirit because Arkansas is kind of a jaunt.
We'd have to like carpool together to get there. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It would probably take us. Let me see. No, I did Oklahoma City to Tucson, and my sister and I did it together, and we did it in, I want to say, like 12, 14 hours. But it was caffeine induced, and it was at night, so there wasn't a whole lot of traffic, so we didn't have to like worry too much about stop and go. And honestly, I don't remember much of it, so.
Well, there's not much traffic here anyways.
Right on. Well, awesome. Well, I am excited for you for that.
Thank you.
That is really exciting.
Yeah, it is. I didn't even think about calling a bookstore and seeing if I could do a sign there.
Yeah, I know a lot of the local authors around here or whatever go to the library to do it.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I'll have to ask and see if they'll let me do it, but I live out in Mormonville, so they probably don't want like women who drop F-bombs killing people in their library, so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you're about to break the mold, aren't you?
I know. I was gonna say, they do kind of. We were actually. My sister-in-law her family is Mormon, and her brother finished his missions, and so now he's on his way to Orlando to get a job and start his life after his missions trip. Or I'm not entirely sure how that works, but we were talking about it, and my sister-in-law, who I think she's still Mormon, but she's not a practicing Mormon. We were having a very interesting conversation about caffeine and how there are some things that they're willing to be a little bit more flexible on than other things. Because one of Mini Monster's friends, she was talking about this tea that she really likes, and he was like, oh, I don't like that tea. And she's like, how do you know? You've never tasted it? And he's like, well, or she's like, have you ever tasted it? And he's like, no, I'm not allowed to drink caffeine because I'm Mormon. And she was like, well, it's caffeine free, and you shouldn't say you don't like things if you've never tried them, And I was like, well, don't tell him that, because that could be bad.
One of the interesting things, not to derail, I know we always talk before we start writing, is so like at the writing group that I'm in, I'm at a critique group, and basically we take people's writing, we review it for like plot, grammar, structure, sentence flow, clarity. We do all of that there. And we get a lot of people who are ex-Mormons, and they're always writing, how I escaped the Mormon church. So like, Oh, it's kind of interesting. And some of these stories are like, whoa, because like I remember I was like, this one lady came in with her story, and I was just reading like the first 5 pages, and I was like, what is happening right now?
Yeah. I never really understood. Like I could see if it was like, so there's like the Mormons, and then there's the crazy ones up north. I don't know if you've ever been there.
Their compound. Yeah.
So are
those
they
are the ones we get?
Yeah, I was gonna say, are they escaping from that? Because like my sister-in-law, she didn't escape from anything. She just left. She was like, I'm gonna marry my husband, and he's not Mormon, so peace out.
There was one guy that we had. Like his story was actually really traumatic. Because he was born and raised on the compound. And I don't want to dive too much about how the compound basically ran itself, but he got caught basically not canoodling, but like he was just kind of making out with like this lady, and so they kicked him out. And they gave him $20 and told him to get the fuck out. And he had nowhere to go. He had no credit, no history, no nothing. And so he basically was like a bum on the street until he found like a homeless shelter and explained his situation. And then that's when they were like, well, this is how you have finance, and this is how you are an adult, and this is this. And he said that the culture shock he experienced from leaving the compound to like how the rest of the world like functions, he said it was just so mind blowing. He said it was like going to another planet.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yep. I know that there's like sanctuaries. There's like secret sanctuary people on the outskirts of the compound.
Yeah, who come to pick them up. Yeah, because when
Yes.
they get kicked off, they come to help them. Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of that going on. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's
I'm grateful
it's,
for.
I know it's kind of strange living in a free country and yet you still have these small like civilizations within the country where you have to actually get like asylum because it's like worse than the mob because once you leave you're not necessarily safe.
Right.
And yeah, it's man, those northerners, they're crazy. No. Damn Yankees. No. So anyway, so Nicole was asking a question about selling paperbacks in an indie store. Have any of you guys ever put that's basically independent bookstores will put your books on consignment. Have you guys?
You have to ask.
Right.
And obviously you have to talk about what their profits are going to be as well, because they're not going to put something on the shelf if they don't make money as well. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be an agreement. And I can't give a concrete answer myself on that because obviously the laws change from state to state because you've got income tax and state tax and all that comes into play. But, just reaching out and talking to the bookstore and seeing if they're willing and what you have to do at that point is probably the best step that you can do for that.
Yeah. I put my first paperback in a independent bookstore, and it was on consignment. We agreed on a price, and then I had a friend of mine go into the bookstore and look for it, and it was unfindable. And so I am very hesitant now to go back to that bookstore. But I mean, if you know who the owner is and you can get in there with them, I encourage you to do it. I just won't go back to the bookstore I was in.
It kind of depends on the bookstore as well. Like there's one out here, I think it's called the Poison Pen, and they sell books, but they sell books that are signed by the author. So like if you go in there, all books should be signed by the author. Like that's their niche.
Yeah. Like, and that's what I did. Like I autographed the book and everything. And then like a year and a half later, I got an email asking if I wanted my books back. And I was like, that's funny that you are asking me if I want my books back because somebody went in looking for my book and it wasn't available. So no, you can set them on fire for all I care. I'm not coming all the way across town to pick them up if you weren't even going to put them on your shelf.
Yeah.
Use them for hamster bedding. I don't care. No. So, all right. So, should we get started?
Yeah. Let me get the Demon app.
Okay. Mine's open. It's just not making any.
Keep it to yourself, Caro.
I heard
Keep
that.
it to yourself.
Oh, hey. I actually got a promotion. I don't know how I did.
I got demoted.
Oh no.
I got a whole 9 days without having to hear that thing scream at me in the background.
I'll put it over here. You won't even know it's there until it screams.
That's right. That's right. Derek,
until it attacks me? Is that what you just said? I won't even know it's there until it attacks me. Ah, it burns. It burns.
Mr. Man, the only man in the group. I got used to calling you one thing. Now I got to get used to calling you the other
I
thing.
don't care what you call me. It'll be all right.
As long as it's not late for dinner.
Do not open that door.
I've been called much worse, I'm sure.
Oh, man. Are you using the app?
No, I don't even know what you're
Oh,
talking
you're trying
about.
to convert him.
Oh, okay.
Resist, Derek. Resist.
Yes.
Start resisting now.
I trust y'all to tell me when to stop.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Michael. I didn't mean the only man. I just meant like on camera. So I know you're a man and I appreciate you being here. Oh man, now I'm gonna have to pull out my PR backpedal.
Low hanging fruit.
Don't kick me out.
Oh man. All right.
We won't kick you out. We'll just mute you.
I know. This is why we Love Monday mornings.
All right.
Okay.
I'm ready when you are.
All right. Is everybody ready? Let's go in 3, 2, 1, right. I messed that up. It's okay. Hey, Carol. I'm looking at you because my phone just sent me a notification.
It sent you a notification.
Because you just subscribed to my channel.
Oh, yeah. I didn't realize it until I went to the live stream. I was like, why am I not subscribed? Taking a break.
My dog started dreaming, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you heard that part or not, but she started dreaming. And I looked at her to laugh, and then when I tried to laugh, I started choking on my own damn spit.
Oh no.
I had to mute the camera and just cough it out. Oh man, I cough an unbelievable amount for someone who doesn't smoke.
Oh no. I do that. I do that sometimes. It's not pleasant, but my husband smokes. I don't, and I'm the one that usually sounds like I'm a 2-pack a day smoker.
I almost wish I sounded like that. I think my voice is so nondescript and boring. I would love to have a raspy voice.
Oh,
I'm not going to take up smoking to get it.
yeah. No, I would love to have like a sexy raspy voice, like what you're thinking of. No. I just get the cough. Just yeah. There's nothing sexy about this voice, especially if you hear my voice on my voice mail, like when it picks up, it's all hi. Oh my
It's bizarre how our voices don't sound anything like they do in our head. Like in my head, I have a deep voice, and then I hear it play back to me, and I'm like, who is that? But I like your voice. You have a really natural like lilting in your voice. It sounds really pretty. You always sound kind of sing-song.
Right on. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I've never heard anybody describe my voice like that.
Well, you're welcome. I like your voice.
Right on.
Good voice.
Now I'm gonna be like, whoa. No.
She's gonna get her radio DJ voice out. Watch out now.
No. Oh man. So how'd you guys do?
I managed 293 words because I'm rewriting what I wrote before, and I like this bit, so I haven't had to change very much.
Yeah.
I'm almost done getting rid of the first M dash.
Ooh.
Right on.
I got 221.
Right on. I got rid of some red squiggly lines, dreamt about Sarah's chimichanga, and I was going. Yeah.
As the Mexican cuisine started.
I know. I'm like, man. She says it's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long time since I've had a chimichanga. There's just so many more options available.
That's my go-to.
Yeah.
I put everything except the vegetables in my chimichanga. Like there's rice, there's beans, there's cheese, there's meat. Sometimes I even put like cheese sauce or guacamole in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to pin it closed with toothpicks. And then all the veggies go on the outside.
Yeah.
So mine are, I heard everybody saying they only have like just meat and cheese or just meat and beans or something like that. I was like, oh, mine is fully loaded.
I like just having meat and cheese on mine.
Yeah.
I don't like vegetables that much though. So.
Oh,
I really
Sarah.
like pico de gallo with my nachos.
Sarah's lunch actually looks really good. There it is.
Hungry, Sarah. Hungry.
For all the people who haven't eaten yet, Sarah is munching down. That actually looks really good. I'm like, yeah. If I saw that, I would totally be like, I think that's what I want. But then here's the thing. That's what I would want because it looks so good. And then I would get it at the table and I would take a bite and I'd be like, man, I could have had like all this other food. And I do that. And no matter where I go, I'll pick something that sounds so super good. And then between the waiter or waitress leaving and coming back with my food, I'm like, shit, there was this other thing. And maybe I should have gotten that. And yeah, so I don't eat out very often.
I cook a lot, and I cook like a menagerie of stuff. I'm a pretty good cook. So whenever I go out to eat to restaurants, I always end up getting the same thing that I know that I like because, like I can't cook this at home or I've tried and failed.
Yeah.
So it irritates my friends because they're like, hey, let's go out and, we'll take you to whatever restaurant because we know you like it. And they're like, are you going to try this thing this time? And I'm like, no, I'm going to get the same thing that I always get because I can cook that at home. I can't cook this at home.
Yeah. That's how I used to love the Olive Garden's endless soup and salad because they had this one soup. It's called Supa Toscana. And I loved it. It's got like cream and it's sausage and kale. And I mean, it's just really, really good. And then my mom found the recipe and started making it at home. And honestly, my mom's is way better than Olive Garden's. And so now, like yesterday, my friend's mom threw her a surprise 40th birthday party, and we were talking about Olive Garden because her husband got her out of the house by promising her Olive Garden. And and so we were talking about how she was actually upset because he said, let's go to Olive Garden as a way to get her out of the house to take her to the surprise party. And then she got there and she was like, what the hell? You said Olive Garden and now I'm eating barbecue, you know? And I was just like, oh my gosh. But I was telling her, I was like, now that my mom can make the Supa Toscana at home and it's better than Olive Garden's, I'm like, it's okay. Unless I really just don't want to deal with, my family or I don't want to cook. Then I'll go to Olive Garden. So, okay. All right. So, what's going on in the comments? Are we ready to start writing again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for sharing that. Now I'll have to have one. Start writing about chimichangas. Just add a chimichanga into your story, Shannon. And and it'll be all good. Oh, what do they call those? I've seen some of them when they do writing sprints and they're using maybe a writing prompt. Yeah, that's what it is. All right, Shannon, your writing prompt is girl eats chimichanga. So, all right, anyway, here we go. Ready? And 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, the dog. Really?
Hi, Shiro.
Um, she hasn't been allowed in during my streams lately because she gets up in the camera and knocks everything over. And
You mean she's a giant
She does
cat?
cat things.
yeah, she does cat things. She's distracting. Don't do it. You're causing problems, Shiro. Oh no, where did my app go? All right. How'd you guys do?
Got rid of one M dash.
218.
So
Woo.
Very nice. How do you go about finding your dashes?
Oh, they just literally like, there's just an M dash between like lines, so that's just where I go and fill in all the stuff, so that way the part before matches with the stuff that comes after.
Oh, right on. Do you have them like highlighted?
No, it's just 2 dashes. I work in a program where it's like really easy to see them, so like I'm just kind of scrolling by and like there's a dash and there's a dash and there's a dash.
Okay. Right on.
Otherwise, I could do like a control find and do it that way as well.
Yeah. How did you do, Amy?
231.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And Mr. McPhee is got 296.
Woohoo.
That's very good. And Sky has half the socks matched. Do you do so? My mom.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. I think I might know what you're going through, Sky. My mom, as a child, she would have pillowcases. And every time she did laundry, anytime there were unmatched socks, she would throw the unmatched socks into the pillowcase. And then about once a month, she would get all of us kids and she would spread these socks out. And we would actually try to fight over who could find the most matches. Is this a similar situation to what you're experiencing, Sky? Yeah, my mom was always creative on how to find ways to get her kids to do chores. I'm not as
the matching sock. I just throw it back in the laundry basket for the next time.
yeah. That's what I do. That's what I do too. My husband's always like, "Why do you have all these socks in the dirty basket? They're clean." And I'm like, "Because they don't match."
I just throw them in the sock drawer because I hate socks. I only own like 4 or 5 pairs.
Mm.
I miss my socks. I lay it on top of the dresser because I tear a hole in mine all the time. So I'll throw one sock away and just grab one of the extras.
Uh-huh.
Well,
That's
anytime
what I've got going on. All the pairs are the same, so it doesn't matter if I match them or not.
That's why I can get the same kind, so I ain't got to worry about it.
as long as they're like white or black socks, that works. But I have like fun, happy socks. However, it works out well because anytime my husband is cleaning his weaponry and he needs a cloth, he knows where to go and get one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like,
I use them as like mittens when I'm cleaning because I have all kinds of like gardening stuff outside containers.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I actually just did the other day was I just put on like a double layer of old ripped up socks.
Yeah.
And then put my hands in soapy water and then just scrub the outside of the container so that I could get the last of the like wintertime moss and everything off of them so they'd be all shiny and pretty again.
Yeah. Well, see, there's all kinds of fun things you can do with unmatched socks.
I used to make dolls out of them when I was a kid.
Yeah. I
had this old craft book. It was just like, I think it was just something my parents gave me to keep me busy because I was one of those kids that if you didn't keep me busy, I got destructive. So they gave me like this craft book and I made every craft in that book, but they ended up regretting it because one of the things that I had to do was make sock dolls. So suddenly we didn't have any more socks in the house.
Yeah. That sounds like it would be a fun craft to do though. Kind of like when you do like the hand puppets out of the, like, they used to call them tube socks. Now they call them what, calf socks or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I used to always tell my mom, like she would get frustrated. She'd be like, I don't understand why you only have like one of each sock. And I used to tell her that the washing machine would eat them. And we actually had a repairman come out to the house and he was pulling socks out of the drain in the washing machine. And I was like, see, I knew what I was talking about.
What's the washing machine? You blamed me. It was that thing.
I read something on Pinterest one time where it was something very similar to that. It was like a picture diagram, and they were talking about how, especially as your dryer gets older, the drum that turns can separate a little bit, and socks can get in there, and small items of clothing like socks or gloves and stuff like that can basically get pulled through into the body of the dryer, not inside the drum. And I thought it was crazy until they showed like 4 different models of dryers where they had taken off the outside shell, and sure enough, there was a whole army of socks in there, just waiting to catch fire.
Yeah, like I've had to replace the belt on my dryer to that the one that actually spins the drum, and when I took it apart, I had no idea. Like, you really should. I think that they don't emphasize enough on how at least like every 6 months you should take the body apart and just do a maintenance clean, because those things are a ticking time bomb. I mean, it's like, holy cow.
Especially if something goes wrong with the air tube that pulls the lint out. We had that happen one time. We couldn't figure out why our dryer was smelling kind of smoky all the time. And something had happened, and the air tube that was supposed to pull all the lint out had somehow come loose. And so a good portion of the air was free to flow back into the dryer body. And so the lint was building up inside the dryer body, terrifyingly close to the heating elements. And yeah, good thing we caught that one.
Yeah. I think they say that I got distracted. Michael said that he went as a sock monster for Halloween, and I was like, that is such a creative. Seriously, that's a creative costume, especially if you have unmatched socks. But I'm totally digging what Sarah said about if her socks match, it's an accident. Well, like, so my daughter used to wear unmatched socks all the time, and I'd be like, what are you doing? And now it's cool. Now, the other day we were driving, and there was a kid wearing one red sock or one red shoe and one white shoe, and I was just like, okay, I know that's not an accident. You don't just put on unmatched shoes. So now I have to rethink my whole idea on the importance, the emphasis of matching your socks. It's like, whatever, just as long as your body's covered, I guess it's okay to do whatever you want now.
Fashion is a construct.
Yeah. But those dryers are dangerous. They're very handy to have, but they are very dangerous. All that lint. And then Mini Monster was like, what is lint? Because she was playing with it, and I was like, that's kind of gross. You don't want to play with the lint. You just scoop it out, throw it away. And she's like, what is it? And I was like, dead skin cells, hair, lint from like
dog hair.
Yeah, I'm like, anything that you could possibly imagine that you don't want on your clothes is in the lint trap, And she was like, oh. So it was pretty funny. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. In 3, 2, 1, go. Alrighty then.
I
How
got
did
rid of 2 M dashes. Oh.
210.
I got 102. My internet blinked out, and I had to go cuss it out a little bit. So in case anyone noticed, that's why I disappeared.
Well, I don't want to sound like I wasn't paying attention, but I was like, it happened. It must have happened so fast. I didn't see it happen.
Well, good. At least it didn't disrupt anybody else. You couldn't hear me swearing at it, so.
Nope. Even though that probably would have been entertaining.
I try. I know how to swear in several languages. Every once in a while, I do it just because I can.
Yeah. What are you doing, kitty? I got rid of most of the red lines, which is funny. I keep looking at all these like typos, and I'm like, man, these are weird typos. So it must have been like middle of the night typos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, now I've come to the part where I have to find a name for this spoiled brat. I need some names. So I will be using my name dice generator shortly.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff. Wait, what are they selling? Is it anything worth something?
Yeah, Sarah, we want to know now.
I know. Like, she has grabbed my attention. Oh my goodness. So, yeah, I don't know. What are you guys planning on doing for the rest of the day?
I don't have any plans. I can stick around a little bit longer and do some more sprints
I have a scene to
if
write.
everybody else wants to.
Actually, I don't know how many scenes I have to write right now. I need to figure out how many scenes I need to write.
Yeah. I am currently writing something completely separate from The Awakening. And it involves this little, and she's an adult, but she is out of control. And so she's spoiled. So I need to find, it's a adult book about adult things. So I need to find a name for an adult spoiled rotten brat.
Brittany.
What?
Yeah, but she's like from South America. So I'm like, Brittany would work if she was like from North America and she was like, I don't know. When I think of Brittany, I think of like a spoiled like Caucasian lady with a American Express card that has way too much on it. You know what I'm saying? And she's like South American, and she's very.
You know what you could try? You could try to think of whatever name you think would be good if it was a North American person, and then just try to find a similar name or like the equivalent of it in more like a Latin language.
Yeah.
That might connect the dots for you in your mind.
Yeah.
I like looking up names that mean a particular thing and searching that in like a baby generator, and it'll tell you like different locations that use a different word for that name or whatever.
That's
like that.
That's cool.
That's typically what I do. I use the name, the baby name book, and I probably end up going back to like the baby name book to see what the different meanings are. Eventually she is going to die. So I think the reason why I don't have a name for her yet is because she's
expendable.
Yes. The time that she is going to be present in the book, she does have some purpose, but she's going to die.
A lot of people in my book does.
Yeah. And the ones that are expendable and I don't have a whole lot of attachment to them especially if their whole purpose is just to die. I always have a hard time because it's like I want to give her something she'll be remembered for, and she does have something that she will be remembered for, but she's gonna die. You know, it's like it's like
Whatever
like
name
cheesecloth,
on her
okay?
tombstone then.
Yeah. You need the cheesecloth for like making jam, especially if you don't want a bunch of seeds and stuff in your jelly. So you need it, but you throw it away when it's done. And this character, I need her for a short amount of time, and then I'm going to throw her away. So, so she doesn't have a name. So I do like some of these suggestions though. Yeah, I don't want to waste a good name on this character. Like, she just needs a good, slutty South American name. And then she's going to die.
Yeah.
Michael's writing a book where I keep trying to kill this character off and he keeps surviving. Oh, damn those survivors. Gosh.
I have one character that I keep wanting to put into my books, but every time I put him into the book and then I go back and read it, I'm like, you just don't fit. So I have to keep taking him out, and it drives me absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I really like this character. I want him to be in the book. Nope, doesn't fit.
Yeah. So does he keep surviving because the way you kill your characters is similar to like the dice games where you roll to see if he dies and you just can't kill him that way? Or why does he keep surviving? And how, if you want to kill him, what's stopping you? Because you're kind of like, you know, you can kill everybody if you want to.
I know for me, I have a character that I had originally intended on killing in my first book.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I finished it and I was going through edits and was about to send it off for formatting and stuff, I got to think, I was like, you know what, I'm going to miss writing for that character the rest of the series. So I'm just going to make it so he lives.
Right.
I wouldn't make a last minute change. I was like, he'll probably die later on, but I had too much fun writing for him.
Yeah.
Because like nothing's off limits for him. He's just completely crazy off the top and everything else.
Yeah. I had a character and I absolutely loved her, and like the whole purpose of her was she was supposed to, you know, be a very loving and compassionate character. And when I started writing, I had no intentions whatsoever of killing her, but my main character needed a push. And I think that like I realized that the other characters in the books needed a push in order to get the story to go in the direction that I wanted it to go in. And so I killed her, and I didn't write after I killed her, and the way that she ended up dying, I didn't write for almost 3 weeks because I was just so pissed off at myself. I was like, you're a terrible person. How could you do that to her? But
I don't get those feelings.
I do.
I know who I'm going to kill before I ever wrote the books. I'm all right. So I knew that going in. I'm looking forward to those scenes. And then I thought, man, I miss writing for him. It's not that he's a good character or anything. It's just I like the way he is, I guess. Just to write for it.
Yeah.
I had one character in my. Yeah.
He's the only
I had one
that
character in my. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He's the only one that I've wanted to kill that I went back and changed. But there's been a bunch that I had never intended to kill. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna die. And then after that end, last minute or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. It's really hard for me to kill characters. I hate to do it. And most of my characters are, you know, fantasy. They're not really killable. You know, they're ghosts or spirits or gods or whatever. They're not really, you know, mortal. So I have to come up with some, like, you know, wonderful situation to somehow terminate whatever they are. And then I was working on my screenplays a couple of years ago, and I realized I have to kill somebody, you know, like there has to be this consuming loss for my main character, because I need my main character to just go absolutely off the rails and kind of just destroy the whole environment around her for some of the other stuff that I want to happen to actually be able to happen and make sense. So I eventually killed her mentor, and I'm still not happy about it. I still think about it sometimes, and I'm like, I wonder what else could I do? Like, but there's nothing else I could do except take away her, her guiding light, and then make her figure out that she has to be her own. There was nothing else I could do to just make her turn into a monster, basically. So I'm not happy about it, and I still wish I could take it back. I don't like killing my characters. I get attached. Even the little secondary and tertiary characters. I want them to live, damn it.
Yeah. Well, there's a character, a very prominent character that I am attached to him because I put so much time and effort into him. But he will die eventually. He has to. It's just one of those things that has to be done, but I'm definitely not looking forward to it. And because I'm not looking forward to it, it's probably going to end up being some kind of like gruesome, horrific, disemboweling in public. Yeah, because it's like, I don't know, I guess for me, like you can
mine ended up being a public execution.
Yeah, you can kill characters and it's like, okay, they're dead. But the ones that like mean the most to you, I always think the more you're invested into a character, the more gruesome their death needs to be so that it's memorable,
More traumatizing.
Yes, yes. But
Yeah.
even because it's traumatizing, you're gonna remember it, it's like, wow, yeah, so he does. He has to die a big death. So I've got to think about that. I know. But I do agree with I do enjoy writing big deaths. I don't like the whole, and then he got shot or he got stabbed or whatever. I'm like, and then
I don't mind
killed
it
his
as
best
long
friend
as it's
and
not.
cried.
Yeah, I don't mind it as long as you can actually, if it's a quiet death like that, I don't mind it as long as it's obvious that it's a death when it happens. Like, there's that old book they make you read in school, like the Fisherman and the Pearl or something like that, and it's about that poor. Do you know what I'm talking about, Caro? Can you remember it? I think it's called The Pearl or something.
Yeah,
and there's this couple, and the guy finds this extremely huge pearl, and he's basically
it's a couple that finds a pearl, and he's going to go and sell it, and it's him and his wife, and they're traveling somewhere, and it's the death that happens in there is actually really tragic, and I think he ends up losing the pearl. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. Maybe Amy can say it when she comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember reading that when I was in elementary school, and I was just kind of like, why did you make me read this? Like, I feel really like, yeah.
Yeah. I always, the deaths where it's like, well, are they dead or are they not dead? I like it because it's suspenseful, but then at the same time, it's kind of like, it's frustrating because those are usually how like they end and you're just like, well, what the hell happens?
Yeah, that's how I finally did the one that I had killed and then decided not to kill. I kind of left it like
open-ended.
You don't really know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
You'll
I had
find
an
out
ARC
in book
reviewer
2.
that read it, and I was talking to her or whatever, and she's like, "Is he still alive?" It's like, "Did I say he died?" Oh, I thought you did. I was like, I didn't say it.
Yeah.
Oh, you might have thought it, but nope.
You're like,
I didn't put the words in that they died.
Yeah.
And we lost Amy. Amy, no.
She's probably cussing at her internet right now.
Oh yeah, she's got the Hades gift going on in Facebook.
Yeah. I do like killing villains. I don't mind killing villains.
I love villains.
Yes.
I love villains too. They're my favorite.
Yeah, but sometimes villains don't start off as villains. They start, and then they turn into villains, and then you have to kill them, and that can be hard. But it is tragic when you have to kill your good guys, especially when your good guys are so good and so lovable. And
I have a character I'm gonna kill, my wife. Begging me not to kill him. I was like, eventually.
Oh, okay. Your wife's begging you not to kill him. I thought you said it was a character. Yeah, never mind.
No, there's a bunch of characters I'm gonna kill. But.
Yeah. No, I thought it was like a character you had written that was like your wife.
No,
and you were gonna kill him because all I heard was, "I'm gonna kill him," and then your wife, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
I was like, I don't think you can say that on the internet, friend.
Well, I do write characters that mimic people that I'm pissed off about, and they die fast. They do. It's legal.
I take people's names and kind of distort it a little bit.
Yeah. I
have yet to do that.
It's legal homicide because nobody really dies. It's all on paper. It's just,
But if they do die, that's what, first degree, second degree? If you got it written down.
Yeah, right. So
I guess I'm about that mindset that I don't put people I don't like in my books to kill them off because I don't want anybody to remember them.
Well, I don't. I mean, I wouldn't use their name.
I distort their names enough.
Yes.
It doesn't really look like it.
Yeah. Like my one sister, she thinks that I wrote a character about my cousin, and my cousin thinks the same character was written about my sister. And I'm like, nope. But I could do anything I want to this character, and one person's going to think that I'm pissed off at the other person, and vice versa. You see? But I never use the people.
Yeah, my writing group thinks that the love interest in my book is actually like my husband, and they said that while my husband was there. My husband was like, "No, I am nothing like that character at all," and I was like agreeing with him because I was like, "That is not him."
Yeah,
it's like, well, your character in the book is a very strong silent type, and so is your husband. I was like, there are other characteristics besides being the strong silent type. Like,
yeah, I get that a lot.
This character murders everybody. My husband doesn't. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Like, I get that a lot. They're like, "Oh, did you write this character after your husband?" And I'm like, you clearly don't know my husband.
Yeah, it drives me nuts. It's like, this character's clearly you. It's like, no, that character is nothing like me. Like, I don't do author inserts, but thanks.
Right. Did Amy come back, or is she still? I see you.
I'm back.
Okay.
Oh, you're here. Good.
Okay. I know. I was
so
like
frustrating.
I know. So, what are we gonna do? Do you guys want to do one more? I think I can do one more if you guys want to do one more. And then I've got to make some phone calls and stuff.
I'll do whatever.
You do whatever?
Yeah, whatever works for you.
Gotta find. Okay, why don't we go ahead and do one more, and then we will wrap it up, and then we'll come back. So because we're on topic, has anybody decided who's going to do tomorrow, or is tomorrow just a floundering ship in the sea?
I'm pretty confident Sky is not going to do it tomorrow.
Right.
I have no idea what's going on.
Okay.
Or whatever anybody tells me to do.
Okay.
That might be your cue then, Caro.
Okay.
Oh, is that me? Am I hosting tomorrow?
Yeah, you might be the backup host for tomorrow.
Right on.
I haven't confirmed it with Sky. I don't want to speak on her behalf, but
I see you're in the comments.
Mentioned several times. Yeah.
Sky, you're in the comments. Am I subbing for you tomorrow? Tell me now.
All right. Well, why don't we go ahead and get started with this last writing sprint, and then she can answer, and then we'll decide what we're going to do. Sound like a plan? All right. Here we go. And wait, I got to find my app again. It keeps closing. Stop it. All right. Here we go. And 3, 2, 1, go. Heidi, Heidi, come here. Okay. Hey, look. Sit. Sit. Did you get baby peeps?
Yes. A whole bunch of them. I'm about sick of it.
They're really cute, though.
God performed another miracle.
Hold on. All right.
I got a whole 77 words.
That's good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I got 213.
Nice.
I've got 5 names that are possibilities of this little shit in my story. I know. And watch, I'm putting so much thought into her name. She's gonna become like, it's gonna be devastating to kill her. No, I'm actually gonna really enjoy this. So. Oh man. All right. So officially, Sky has said she will not be on.
I already went and made the thing for tomorrow for 9 a.m. our time, so 9 a.m. Mountain time. It's pretty much when this one started is when it's going to start tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. Awesome. 391 for Michael. That is totally cool. Oh yeah, definitely, Shannon. Moving can be a total pain in the ass, but yes, you have to get on here and host. You'll have lots of fun. So, all right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap it up. I got some stuff. I just found out that the lake has fish in it. Last year, our lake dried up, and so we just saw a picture that the lake is full and has fish. And I'm like, we need to go fish. I love fishing. I do a lot of good thinking at the lake while I'm fishing. So, yep, got to go convince Mr. Man that we are going to the lake. We're going. So,
Get the tackle box before I tackle you.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, and especially like this lake, we have like, how would you describe the urban lakes? They're like lakes in the middle of a park, and everybody goes and everybody fishes. And unfortunately, you get a lot of people and they're drunk and they're being dumbasses. And the last time I took the kids to fish in an urban lake, this man, so you have a limit, and my son was having a great time catching fish. And so I was like, okay, we'll just go ahead and get the limits. We'll make sure that everybody gets their limits. And this man started getting real nasty with him because he was like, he's only allowed to catch X amount of fish. And I was like, we don't have that many fish. We don't even have that many fish, because he would get one and then we would compare which one's bigger and we would throw the smaller one back out. And it got to the point where like my husband actually had to tell this guy to shut up and mind his own damn business, in a little bit more aggressive tone than I just had. And then the following weekend, there was a shooting at that same lake. So I was just like, you know what? We are so done. And so this lake that we go to, it's like a 3-hour drive, and the drive is really nice. And then this lake is huge. It's enormous, and there's nobody there. Like, in the 10 years that I've been fishing at this lake, I have never like piggybacked on top of somebody else. And you go and you sleep in the truck and you can fish all night, and there's bears and there's just all kinds of stuff. It's a really neat place. Really, really neat place. As you can tell, I love it. And in fact, I told my husband, I was like, we should just have our wedding at the lake, because that's where we were going to spend our honeymoon, was at the lake. I was like, if we have the wedding here, people come to us, then they leave. We're already here. We don't have to do any driving. Yeah, but it didn't happen. I know. I was like, it didn't happen though. We ended up getting married in a friend of ours' backyard, which was cool because he was right. If we told everybody how to get to the lake, then everybody would know where it was, and then we'd be piggybacking on top of people. So it worked out. So anyway, on that note, why don't we go ahead and say our goodbyes, and
Okay.
we will be back tomorrow on Carol's channel to do more. Hey,
Okay.
Shira, that's not fun.
I'll try to spit mine out before my internet blinks out again. I am Amy Nobody. I am joining these streams because I am working on my first, oh no, not even my first anymore, my second draft of my first fiction book. And I don't have any social media or anything like that. I don't use it. I'm a certified SEO consultant. And yeah, that's me.
Yay. How do you
I still make
advertise?
Carol cry.
How do you advertise your SEO consulting if you don't have social media?
I got really lucky. I got into SEO because my friend was launching a website, and she introduced me to several other clients that I have. Like, I didn't have to advertise. I just happened to stumble into 4 people who wanted and needed what I was doing. And now I started doing it before I had my certification. I just got my certification earlier this year, finished my certification earlier this year. So I've been doing it for like 2 years, but I've only had my certification for like 2 months. I did it for like a year, and then I was like, you know what? I like doing this. I'm good at it. So I'm going to go ahead and get the certification. That way I can make my LinkedIn profile and everything like that, and actually begin to advertise, take on more clients. But I just really got lucky, so I didn't have to hunt down clients in the beginning.
Right.
LinkedIn is still part of social media.
What? Huh?
LinkedIn is a social media.
I know. I'm just being
Okay.
smart.
Okay.
God, I thought they were getting rid of LinkedIn.
No, why would they?
No?
Oh,
Mm-mm.
As far as I understand, it's a really good site. I haven't had
Well,
to use it yet, but very
That's
popular
how-
for what it is.
That's how my
There-
husband hires people.
Yeah.
okay. There have been lots of weird, strange rumors that they're getting rid of a lot of things. So maybe it was one of those weird things that they were saying and it didn't come true. So, all right, LinkedIn. I
But
guess
anyways,
I'll figure out how to use it.
that's me.
Awesome. All right, Carol, it's your turn.
Hello, my name is Kara Brown. I am an urban fantasy author and a writer for Otherworld Inc. I am a pretty frequent visitor on these live streams, and I also do emergency hosting like I am tomorrow. I am going to have the hosting at 9 a.m. Mountain Time, so whatever math you have to do to see if you're going to be there, do that, and I will see you tomorrow.
Awesome. DL, it's your turn.
Dale Stewart, my first novel, The Battle for Metagore, is coming out. There's a glare. But on the 21st of this month, I have a bunch of social media. I got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube. Everything's Dale Stewart Author. I also have a website and a newsletter. Sign up for my newsletter, you get the first 2 books, or first 2 chapters of my first book.
I'm about to say you're generous.
Yeah, I haven't even finished the second one. Just send it to me so I can figure out how it ends. But if you pre-order it, then you get the first 4 chapters if you enter the pre-order giveaway and such.
Cool.
That's me.
Right on. Very cool. And I am Dana Gollin. You can find all of my social stuff at danagollinwrites.com. If you sign up for my newsletter, you do get a free copy if you wish to redeem it of The Awakening. Yeah. And eventually you can come back and you can see everybody's links in the description, but I don't believe that they're there just yet because I have been slacking. But yeah, so until tomorrow, unless anybody else has anything else they'd like to say, we will see you later.
I'm good for now.
All right,
Thank you for
awesome.
having me.
Definitely. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.